Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Sunlight Cove here, and today is going to be a very interesting video as we're going to explain how we can improve on generators in Dead by Daylight. Before we start, I would like to give a shout out to Kaiser Gamer for making this concept in the first place. Be sure to check them out, and I'll make sure to link their Twitch and YouTube in the description below. Without further ado, let's get into the concept. In their video, Kaiser explained that they would like to see multiple parts used for generators, like gears, levers, pistons, etc. So I thought of a better way to sorta include that while also keeping the core generator mechanics largely untouched. Grinders. So this works sorta like the scrap grinder in the Resident Evil 7 minigame, Nightmare, where you run around the basement turning on these machines to make scrap for you so that you can upgrade your weapons and character. In Dead by Daylight's case, there's these machines scattered around the map and survivors can turn them on to produce the scrap. However, the killer can turn these off, but the scrap count is saved, meaning whatever it was on before, it isn't gone because the killer turned the machine off. This brings a secondary objective to the game that requires survivors to periodically check the machines and either turn them back on or keep them on and lead the killer away. Scraps. Scraps are materials you get for keeping the grinders on. Press the active ability button to transform this into one of the following: gear, lever, wire, piston. These parts don't necessarily add progress to the generator. Instead, it makes the generator progress faster, since doing a generator by itself with no parts isn't worth it because it takes 100 seconds to complete. Missing skill checks grants a huge penalty, but a high reward if you manage to hit greats. If you just hit good, nothing happens, but if you completely miss a skill check, then whatever item was inside the generator is now gone and the generator starts regressing, meaning you have to either start all over again or brave the insane amount of time the generator takes to complete. However, if you hit a great skill check, the following will happen. Reveal the killer's aura for 4 seconds, subtract 0.6 seconds off the required time, grants immunity to your parts getting destroyed. However, because of this change, we would have to reduce the size of the great skill check zone as to not keep getting immunity and make it more riskier to hit those great skill checks. Since the massive speed decrease for the default generator time, the generator count will now be reduced by 1, meaning there's 4 generators now instead of 5. As mentioned before, the killer can turn off the grinders producing the scrap as to put pressure on the survivor side. If the survivors do manage to get the parts inside the generator, when they kick it, all parts are gone and the generator becomes blocked for 9 seconds, giving survivors enough time to restart the grinders and grab more parts while the killer can hunt them down and kill them while the generators are regressing. While the killer can't hold a 3-gen anymore since there's 4 generators to complete, they can, however, slow the generators with each kick they do, meaning no matter what, even if the survivors have full parts for the generator, because it will go faster if you have all parts, it still will be slower every time they attempt to repair it. Okay, so a bit of context of how the generator parts work. You have a base time if you try to attempt the generator, like, with no parts at all, of 100 seconds to complete it. If you make a gear from the scraps, it shaves off 5. If you get a lever from the scraps, it shaves off another 5. If you get a wire, it shaves off 10. If you get a piston, it shaves off 15. So let's do the math, shall we? You get 100 base. So minus 5, minus another 5, minus 10, minus 15. That is a 65-second generator with all parts in it. So pretty much, it's fucking fast. So pretty much a new mechanic that will probably come with this new generator update is the power box. So basically, for each generator completed, you get the power box, power. Once all the generators are completed, you can flip this switch to turn on the power and open the exit gates. However, the killer can just straight up turn off the power box and keep the survivors in the trial longer. But to keep the killer from just camping the power box, if they are within a 21 meter radius, meaning they can't proxy camp it, the killer's aura is revealed, and when the power box is turned on, it becomes blocked until the killer leaves the radius for 10 seconds to prevent them from taking the game hostage. Okay, so for example, like the game ends, all generators are powered on, and the killer has no pressure on the survivors. Well, they can just straight up take away their ability to leave by just cutting off the power box. And since turning on the power box is like a meter thing, then it's going to take them longer to turn on. So with each time the killer turns off the power, they are putting so much pressure on the survivors because they can't straight up open the exit gate and book it. So pretty much that was the idea there. I'm not trying to make it damn near impossible for killers to get any pressure on the survivors. If anything, this whole entire concept will probably put more pressure on the survivors because now they're managing scrap boxes, they're managing keeping the power box on, they're managing like not fucking up like their generator parts. It's basically a lot, but it will make the game more fresh and a lot of fun to play. Well, that's the concept, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video, and thank you, Kaiser, for making this idea. You're a really awesome guy for letting me expand upon it. Remember to check out their YouTube channel and Twitch. Both accounts will be linked in the description below. And hey, if you like my content, be sure to hit the subscribe button. It really helps out with the channel. And as always, stay awesome.